Hey Flosstube, it is Michelle from Made by Michelle McGraw, and this is Flosstube number 39. It is November 3rd, which is election day in the United States, so I have voted. I have done my part. I went this morning with my husband, which we have never gotten to vote together. He normally goes like first thing and then would leave and go to work, but he's actually working in our farm, which is near our house. And so we actually got to vote today together. So that was like first time the whole time we've been married, and we've been married 20 some years. So that was kind of fun because I've never been to the poll with my husband. So at the end, of course, I did my voting. As everybody, I hope everybody does, and everybody has the right to vote who they want. And so I don't do any political stuff other than just go vote. The lady tried to give me the sticker at the end, and I'm like, digging in my purse, and I'm like, I got it. And she's like, oh my gosh, that's so awesome. So that was just kind of a fun little thing this morning. The lady was like, that is so cute. So had to wear mine. I did initially show this on a chain as a necklace. My jumper that I had on it kept coming. I messed it up, so it kept coming loose and it would fall off. It would catch on stuff and fall off. So I just took the jumper off, took it off the chain, and I made it into a pin. I just glued a pin to the back of it. So this is the free pattern from Ink Circles. If you would like to do it, it literally takes an hour to stitch up. It is teeny tiny little, very quick. It is done on 25 count 1/1. It's a very quick stitch. And then I used one of the Dandy, I showed it in my last video, or my 2 videos ago, I think. Dandy something or another hoops. They're out of Australia. If you're interested in the little embroidery hoops and you want to know who it is and you can't find them, leave me a comment and I will look it back up for you. I've had them for years, but she still is in business and sells them. So, okay, I have so much to get into, and I have finishes, and I'm super excited to show you. So, all right, let me get my lists here because I will mess up. Which one do I show first? I really don't know. Okay, I have them on, after I do cross stitch and I iron them, I put them on pant hangers. And so I have them hung on pant hangers. So I just brought them in. I should have taken them off the pant hangers, but I hang them on pant hangers until I'm ready to frame them. All right, let me start off with the first one, and I'm gonna find the pattern. Excuse me for digging all over here, but I have them everywhere today. Okay, so my first finish is from Cherry Hill Stitchery, and it is Autumn Barnyard Stack. And I adore this. This is not just a Halloween pattern because it's not jack-o'-lanterns, it's pumpkin. So you could just use this all fall. And this is my finish. So I love this one. They were super fun to do. I did change the colors only because I didn't have some of the called for colors, and I just substituted it, keeping in the same color line. I know that I used Shabby Sheep for the sheep, which I thought was kind of funny. I did stitch him like around and around, kind of going around, so I didn't get lines. I had a fluffy sheep, and I'm really pleased with how he turned out. The cow, this color, the lighter brown is DMC, and then this color was a variegated. I did make sure I stitched that kind of around and around so I didn't get lines either. But I love this. This was super fun to stitch. I love it on the gingham fabric. I think it looks fantastic, and I really, really liked it. So Cherry Hill Stitchery, you can find her on Etsy. I also have seen her patterns on Fat Quarter Shop. I want to say that I've seen some of her patterns pop up on 123 Stitch, but I might be confused. I know some of them are on Fat Quarter Shop. She has a bee one that I want to do. So I will show you a couple things later on with some bees. I want to do bees for the summertime. My friend Sarah, hey Sarah, sent me an adorable little bee pattern. I showed it on one of my floss tubes that she sent me out of a magazine. I loved it. I want to do a whole bee display. So probably starting in February or March, I'm going to start on bees and try to do as many as those I can. So, and there is one from Autumn Lanes to Tree that I want to stitch. So, all right, that's my first finish. I will go right in with another finish. Let's see. Oh, where are they? Okay, here it is. So my next finish is from, it was actually out of the Punch Needle and Prim Stitcher magazine. Primitive Stitcher magazine. Prim Stitch, I'm saying that wrong. Anyhow, you know what magazine I'm talking about. So this is a very, very bad copy that I have wadded up, and I did not print it in color, but it's from Barbara Anna Designs, and it is Holy Night. So I didn't print it in color just because it was for me, and I just kind of printed it off. This is a small pattern. It was 2019, 62 by 61 high, and I don't know why it took me so long to finish this one, but it was just sitting there unfinished, and I have finished it. So with that said, I changed all of the colors. I changed them to étoile because when I started this, I hadn't had the étoile for a long time, and I wanted to do a ornament in étoile. So I don't know if you're going to be able to see it. Every color is an étoile, and I don't think it shows up on camera. I just don't think you see it. But I really, really like this. I really like the original colors, but it was fun to do it in something that was sparkly and that is going to be really sparkly on the Christmas tree or on my cart display. This is done on 28 count Monaco. So this was the first time I used Monaco. I haven't used Monaco much, and this was my first start on Monaco. I like the thickness of Monaco. I don't think the holes are as easy to see as in like a Lugana. They're not hard. I would say they're easier than a linen if you were going to an even weave. But I think Lugana for me is the easiest. There is also, is it a Linda fabric? I have never owned a piece of Linda fabric. I think Bestitch Me has Linda fabric, and I ordered a piece. So I'm really excited to see what Linda fabric is. I think it's Lindy, something like that. And I've never seen that fabric or touched it, so I'm excited. But this was Monaco. I think I have since done other projects on Monaco, but this was my first start on Monaco. So I did not tell you the fabric on the other one. Let me tell you the fabric on it. I am all out of sorts because I have so much, and I'm so excited to show you everything. Okay, so Autumn Barnyard Stack was 30 count from Nikki's Creation. It doesn't actually have a fabric name. So, but as you can see, it's a gingham. I know Weeks has a gingham that is this color, but this piece actually came from Nikki's Creation on Etsy. Okay. And I told you that one. Okay. That pattern is called Holy Night by Barbara Anna Designs, but it was in the magazine, so I just printed it out. Okay. My next finish, which is also going to be my giveaway this week. So if you like this pattern, I'm going to be giving it away later on. So this is, I love it. This is Christmas Tea it's with my needle and thread, right? Or this just says Brenda Gervais. So I'm very confused on when her patterns are with thy needle and thread and when they're just hers. So I guess this one is just hers, but it's the Christmas Tea Mice. I love the mice series. I need to do more of them. This is my giveaway. So if you want to enter in the giveaway, I'll just do it now. Say tea in your comment. you don't have to leave me a long comment if you want to be entered into the giveaway and you don't have time. It's fine. Just put the word T-E-A, because that's the word that I'm going to put in the random generator to search out the comments, and it's only going to pick it up in that. So if you want this pattern, I have stitched it. I made a working copy, although at some point I made little checks on the colors. It doesn't change anything about the pattern, but I'm passing the stash. I'm done with this pattern. I'd love to give it to somebody who would like to stitch it. So if you'd like to stitch it, leave me a comment. I will pick that next floss tube. Here is my finish. So let me get my information out here. I started this on October 17th and I finished this on October 24th. I stitched it on 30 count weeks gunmetal. It's showing up kind of blue. It's a gray. I would say it's a gray blue, but it's very dark. I love it. My biggest problem is when I saw this pattern stitched, and even on the front cover, sometimes I think that teacup gets lost in the fabric. And I wanted to make sure mine didn't get lost in the fabric. That's what I was trying to accomplish. So I ended up picking out this piece that I had in stash. I did make some changes. So I changed the mice. I changed out their clothes from Chili Pepper to Gentle Arts Cherry Wine. I wanted really, really red. So that's why I changed it. Chili Pepper is more of an orangey red, and I wanted a more red. So as you can see, it's more red. Putty, I used the DMC 3031. I didn't have putty. And there's two reds in here. So there's reds down here and this red. I used Classic Color Arts Bing Cherry for that one. So I just wanted them to stand out on my fabric, and I wanted the reds to be very red and different. So that's my finish. Sorry. Keep doing that. Sorry. Okay, so that's my third finish. I was on a kick to finish. I lost that kick halfway through. So normally I do a floss tube every 2 weeks. Last week I went to go sit down and do a floss tube, and my house was full of people and I could not. And so I just put it off. So, yeah, so I'm a little late. I have more done. I have more started. I have more stash to show. So yeah, this might be long. Okay, I have another finish. This is a sow with my friend Janet Jabber, and it is the Yonder sow that we stitched together. I think some other people have jumped in, hashtag Yonder sow. And this is the pattern. I did not bring it in for me, but it is Hello from Liz Matthews. I love this pattern. I wasn't in a hurry to stitch this, and I'll be honest, because I loved it so much. I just finally, I literally had this and the houses to do, and I finally was like, this is silly. I just need to stitch this already. So there's my finish. I love it. This is done on 25 count Vintage Country Mocha Lugana, and we started this in June. It does not take that long to stitch. I'm not even gonna lie to you. Both me and Janet had the same thing, that we were it was just an enjoyable stitch, and we didn't feel the need to rush through it. So we kind of just puttered along with it, and I love this. I love the colors. I love everything. I originally started this because my husband, who is extremely Southern, matter of fact, my sister, we've been married over 20 some years, and my sister still sometimes will say, huh? What did he say? So the funny part is the way he gives directions, because I swear he will give me directions of, well, do you remember when we talked to that guy and he was standing beside the tree and he spit that tobacco on the ground? You turn right there. And I'm like, what? Like, what? That's the directions. So yonder was stitched kind of in his spirit for directions. So I'm going to actually probably frame this because I really, really like this. I love Liz Matthews patterns. This is the second one that I've completed. My first one is actually hanging right there. You can't see it because I turned off this light. So this light doesn't, my camera does not like this light, and every time I move, it dims it, and it looked like it was flickering. So I try to turn it off for Flosstubes. It was the ghost light. So I try to turn it off, but that is Liz Matthews' bowerbirds. Yes, bowerbirds. Bowerbirds, that's how you say it, I think. And so it sits right there. So I will get that framed as well. Okay, we're gonna move on. What else have I stitched? I am not 100% sure if I showed this, so I'm going to show it. I finished the second ornament in the plaid alphabet, Owen. So if you are new here, I do ornaments for my kids for Christmas. This was the first one, Jesse. I did his in red. I did Owen's in green with, they're all done on murky, 14 count murky fabric, just scraps. And I have started, I will complete it probably Friday. This is always my work project. And I started my last son's name and I did the blue. I'm not gonna take it out of the hoop because it's not done yet, but you can get the idea of the colors. This pattern is, I know I got it on 1, 2, 3 stitch. And it is from Stitchin' Mama Plaid Alphabet, in case you're looking for it. And she does have the red, the green, and the blue on the pattern as substitutions. But you could also do, like, instead of doing black, you could do a brown and oranges and a yellow. And I think that would look so pretty for fall. Eventually, not right now, because I'm over plaid letters right now. Eventually, I would like to use this pattern and make some seasonal little sayings for my tiered stand. Like a fall one, it's gone out of my mouth. Fall, spring, summer, all that. Like I think it would be cute to do, sorry. I threw that on the floor and I didn't put this back in there, and I don't want to, that would be awful if I got to work Friday and really wanted to finish this and I don't have it in there. So, but just to do plaid sayings for the season, I already have the pattern. I'm definitely getting my money out of it. So I really think like that type of pattern is a very good use of your money. Like I said, I don't want to stitch them right now, but like I want to do a bee display. Wouldn't it be cute to do buzz or bees or summertime or something like that and make it out of plaid and just change the colors? I think that would be so cute. Okay, I think that is all of my finishes that I have. Yes, I think that's everything. So I did good on finishing. I was working on some things and then I lost my, let me stitch on all of my old projects, all of my whips, and I started new things. Okay, so I did want to, I got a beautiful card from one of my viewers, Amy. Amy, thank you so much. These are Hands Across the Sea cards, and they come with a pattern on the back, which is super fun. And Amy wrote me a really beautiful note. She won one of the charts. And so thank you, Amy. That was so sweet and made my day. So I was so excited. Okay, let's go into whips, and then I will do stash and I think that's all I have. Maybe. So the last Flosstube video that I did was a special edition video of my tiered stand. So if you haven't watched that, go check that out. It's a really quick video. I think it's 4 minutes long. And it just shows my Halloween stuff on there. I will be redoing that and putting, mainly taking off Halloween and probably just leaving the fall stuff there. I have a couple of Halloween finishes I need to fully finish, and I have not fully finished them. I had a sewing day on Saturday. The boys went up to West Virginia on their side-by-sides, and I had the house quiet. I had a project that I really wanted to get done. I did get that project done, but then Sunday I was going to do some cross-stitch finishing, and I lost my mojo. So that didn't happen. Finishing is never my favorite thing to do. I can stitch all day long, but when I have to finish something, I'm like, so I didn't get to that. I know at least 2. So those are going to be the 2 that I do first when I do finish. So I will be redoing my stand. I probably won't refilm it because it's a lot of the same stuff. Maybe I'll refilm it for Christmas. They're really quick videos. I got a lot of comments about the poster over my, or the picture over my stand, which is Bigfoot. So funny story, and the reason why it hangs in my house. One, I love the colors. I love the 70s vibe of the colors. I just think they're gorgeous. But funny story, so there was a show on, and they were talking about Bigfoot and finding Bigfoot, and they were at Urari Park. Urari is 35, 40 minutes from us up the road. So we were watching the show. I didn't pay it no mind at all. And we went to bed, and I got like in the middle of the night, and I noticed that the back spotlights were on. And this happened like a couple nights in a row. I would get up or they would wake me up, and I would turn off the spotlights, and I'd be like, who keeps turning these lights on? Because it shines into our bedroom. I'm like, who keeps doing this? So finally the next morning I said to my husband, I was like, who is leaving the spotlights on? Like, is one of the boys doing it? What's going on? And he's like, I left them on. And I'm like, why? And he's like, because we watched the Bigfoot show, and it's Urari. It's 35 miles up the road. And I'm like, what? He's not kidding. He was not joking. It was the funniest thing. So I am 5'2". I think my husband is 6'2". Like, nothing intimidates him. You know, he's a huge guy. He's leaving the light on for Bigfoot. I think to me, and so our joke is, it's okay because he just throws pebbles at you. And that's always our running joke. But when I saw that print and the fact that we had this whole discussion about Bigfoot, I had to buy it. And it's actually a huge print and fits in my foyer, and I actually love it. So that's kind of like a funny story, because he has not lived that down, that he's leaving the light. So I guess Bigfoot doesn't come into our yard. I don't know. It was the weirdest thing. Sometimes my husband, like, he says about the bees, that's the weirdest thing I've ever said. And I'm like, that's like the weirdest thing you've ever said. It's the Bigfoot. So there you go. I'm not scared of a bee. I'm not scared of Bigfoot, but there you go. All right, let's go to whips. I have rambled on. I don't know where to start, so I'm just going to start. Let me get the right card. Okay, so this one comes with a story. This is a new start, and I have tons of Blackbird Designs charts, tons of them. And I don't think I've stitched maybe one. I might have 1 or 2 started, and I haven't completed a Blackbird yet. So I just thought, in the year 2021, I would like to start some of these Blackbirds that I love. I have several of them kitted. I pulled some out of my stash that I want to kit. This one was calling to me. So it comes from the Home for the Holidays book. I know you can still get this. I know that it's on Shop Country Samplers because I looked last night. So the one that I'm doing is Christmas Garden. And I think this is such a pretty sampler. It's so cute. I love the deer. I wasn't crazy about the coloring. I take that back. I love the coloring, the muted colors, because that's part of the thing that draws me to Blackbird. But I saw somebody stitch this changing the gold to white, and I was like, that's brilliant. I wanted to do that. Once I did that, I wanted to use a bolder red. It calls for Classic Colorworks Calico Kitty, and that's like a reddish tan. So it's variegated in that red. I think mine has a lot more tan in it than is showing up here. So I wanted to change it. So I did. This was my start from yesterday, so it's only a little start. But I did change the colors. Let me just show it, and then I'll show you the colors. So this is, let me put something behind it. This is my start. And I basically wanted to start it and make sure my colors were gonna work. I love it. And this piece of fabric is a scrap that I have. And it's got a lot of modeling of it, of greens and pinks. I love it. I literally had to cut off like a little strip like this, and it was like in the little corner. So it was perfect size for me. This is an 18 count. This is another reason why I chose this fabric. I wanted to show people that a sampler can be beautiful on Aida fabric. And this is beautiful fabric. I'm trying to, that blows it out some. Ugh. Probably there is correct. So it's really pretty fabric. I think that it's called, I'm gonna get it wrong. I'm sorry. I can try to look it up. I think it's from Hand Dyes by Stephanie, I think. But this was a scrap. Like I said, it fit exactly. I wanted to make sure my white showed up, and it does. So I changed the colors, and this is my color palette that I'm using. So, and I will not need all of this because I am stitching on 18 count, but I pulled it all. So I am using Cranberry, and this is the silk, the Belle Soie. I am also using Mud Pie from Belle Soie. Let me put this up against the fabric. It's a brown, so those will be my deer. I love that. And then I am using Endive Gentle Arts. That was a called for. And then I'm using, I actually changed it. I'm not using antique lace. I'm using DMC B5200. It was brighter. And the other thing I'm doing is the white, I'm stitching 1/1 on 18 count, but the white is 2/1. So just to make the white pop. White is the hardest that I have trouble with when I do a pattern like this, because I'm going to have a dark brown color in here, or a brown color. It was hard to choose the fabric because I wanted the white to show up, because the white is like here. These little things will be white. White here, white here. So there's gonna be a lot of white, and I want it to show up, and I used 2 strands. So that was an easy fix, but I think the B5200 showed up a little bit better than the antique white did, or antique lace. So I changed that late last night. I pulled that all out and redid it in B5200, and I was pleased with that. So that is part of my Blackbird, try to stitch all the Blackbirds. In this same book, there's a lot of other patterns. Like, for some reason, this one just, I love it. I love that one. So I want to stitch that. And I have them all kitted up. I threw all of the floss in the bag. That is adorable. And I know there's another one that I want to do. Yes, it's back in the back. I want to do 'Tis the Season. So my only thing with this is I really, really like this. This is a pretty big piece. I would like to do this do the bird in a blue. So it's not so Christmassy, and I'm going to change the wording. I don't know. I have some blue picked out to do it in a blue bird, and then, you know, just so it's not quite as, I think this is very Christmassy. I don't know. I might change my mind and just stitch it as is, but I really like this one too. So these books are great for the money. I think this book was $26, but I have several patterns in there I'm going to do. I will show some more patterns later that I pulled, but that was a whip. Okay. And I told you everything about that. All right, let's see. This is a new start. This is for October 1st start, and it's Stitch Manning 911. So there is a Facebook group that the 911 stitcher does, Stacy. She is fantastic. Do not join her group unless you want to buy more stash. Stacy is the biggest Flosstube enabler. Just so you know, I love Stacy. I so enjoy her floss tubes, and she's so good. But let me tell you, I have bought some patterns because of Stacy. So this is a stitch along that her Facebook group is doing, and it is Stitch Any Carolyn Manning pattern, which is fantastic because there's so many great Carolyn Manning patterns, and to see everybody stitching them, it's really, really fun. So the hardest part was figuring out what pattern I wanted to do. I ultimately decided to do red, white, and blue. And the reason being, one, my kids all walked by and said, you have to do that one. Two, I have some historical samplers that I want to do. And this would be a really cute centerpiece for those historical samplers. Or it would be a really great piece for 4th of July decorations. I don't know which one it's going to be, but that kind of pushed me over the edge. Not many people were doing this one, so I thought that was kind of fun too. And here is my start. So I only stitched on this one day, and I'll preface this with mine is stitched on 20 count mushroom Lugana. So it was really hard to pick fabric because I had some other fabrics picked out. And ultimately I decided to do the mushroom because it's not this pretty hand-dyed fabric that I'm only going to show like 3/4 of an inch once I get done. So I went with a solid one. Let me put that back behind it again. So there's my start. Like I said, mine is teeny tiny because it is 20 count 1/1. But I really, really like this. This is a really different stitch. Like nothing like I've stitched before, which is super fun. Like I love challenging myself to stitch different things, and it's different. I've never stitched a pattern like that. So it's not too late to join. There is no end date for her Sal. It is basically stitch when you want, what you want, how fast you want. And join the Facebook group so you can post your pictures. And then if you do, use the hashtag Stitch Manning 911. So, and like I said, Stacy is a big enabler. There, I said it. So, all right, next project. Okay, so this one has been kitted in my stash for the longest time in my chicken bag that I made. We're not going to look closely at the sewing lines. This was the very first sewing bag that I made. It's been the last zipper that I did. I need to attempt another zipper. It wasn't that hard, but I need to attempt it, and I just have not. Oh my, I have a mess. Okay, so I have colors everywhere. I will show you the colors if you're interested, or I will put them on. I'm not 100% sure everything that I'm using yet is what I'm going to use, because I have like little notes, and because I haven't actually stitched it up yet, I don't know if the colors are going to work. I will share them at the end, or if you really are curious, send me a message and I'll send you what I have so far, because I only have some of them so far. And as you can see, I've already changed one of them. So I changed it as I was stitching it, which is what happens. Okay, this is Babushka's Blossoms by Plum Street Samplers. Okay, so one, this is an adorable fall pattern, okay? I love it. I love that I could leave it up all through Thanksgiving and it's adorable. Two, my mother is Polish, so she always used to say Babushka, which in Polish, it means little old lady. It can also mean headscarf, so my mom kind of used it interchangeably. And I'm not sure if that's really right, because my mom didn't totally speak Polish, but she had some Polish words, so don't take her as a judge. Anyhow, this is my start. A teeny tiny start. This is the bottom of her dress. I'm started the pumpkin, and I have one little flower started, okay? This is done on 20 count Vintage Country Mocha, Ada. So it is teeny tiny once again. I am changing out the colors. This is just one that was good. I just didn't have them. So it's kind of a stash buster to do. English words are hard. I started this on Halloween, and I just wanted a new start, and I had had this kitted for so long, and I was like, I'm starting it. I'm doing it. I'm also back on an Ada kick that I just am enjoying my Ada. I'm enjoying my Ada on 18 and 20 count because it's so tiny and I just love it and it's cute. I get the Fabric Club from Color and Cotton. I get the 36 count and 28 count. I think my 36 count is whatever, and I think my 28 count is neutrals, but I could be wrong. I also get the Fabric of the Month from Bestitch Me. So I contacted Brandy and I asked her, hey, can you change my, I was getting 28 count. Can you change mine to 20 count Ada? Because I don't actually have a lot of 20 count Ada. Of course, then I sent her a message right back after I looked, and I was like, oh my gosh, I'm so stupid. I didn't even know you didn't have 20 count listed. You have 18. 18 would be fine. And she messaged me back like by the next morning and says, actually, I can do 20 count. I'll change your thing over. And she did. So I was super excited about that. If you don't have any of Brandy's fabric yet from Bestitch Me, go get some. She's fantastic. I love her Fabric of the Month. And it was super easy to change. Like, that was fantastic for me because when I first started, I didn't have a lot of Laguna and I wanted to get my stash up. And so now I kind of want the 18 and 20 count Ada. So that was a really great way for me to get it as a club. So I highly recommend her. So if you're not getting her stuff, go get it. All right, what do I have next? I have 3 more wigs. And this one is from Autumn Lane Stitchery. I'm not going to take this out of the Q-snap because, well, I will. So I stitched this in the very beginning of, in between my last floss tube. This is from Autumn Lane Stitchery, the Horrid Old Hag. And I love this. I love the swamp feel. I love it. I did a little bit more. So my cat has popped out. Look at there. I love it. And the house, it's fantastic. When you're stitching this, it's really strange because you're stitching this and you're like, okay, all right. You know, it's a little bit here, a little bit there. And then when you sit back and look at it, you're like, oh my gosh, that's so awesome. So I love these. My goal is to do more of the Autumn Lane Stitchery ones. I have them kitted and I just want to stitch more of them. I'm only going to stitch one at a time. I've told myself not to get too crazy, but I really, really enjoy stitching on that. So, and that is stitched on Picture This Plus 14 count Monster Mash. And that was just from Stash. And I am using all of the called for, although one of them is like one shade off because I didn't have it, but it's still in the line. It looks the same. Okay, next one is a new start. See, I was doing so good finishing stuff and then just blew it out of the water with all these new starts. Okay, now I am going to murder this name, so I will show it. This is House of Christmas from Galliana Cross Stitch Designs on Etsy. I love this. It is so fantastic. Like, look at all of the little details. So there's a little peeking out the window, a present, Merry Christmas, the little picture frames. I mean, there's so much detail when you go down. I love it. I love it. So I started this, I hemmed and hawed about this many, many times. And I ended up doing 16 count Picture This Plus Fresco. And I'm using DMC 115, which is a variegated DMC. This is my favorite red. My favorite variegated DMC is this 115. It's going to be big, but I really, really enjoy it. I wanted to do this like on an 18 or a 20 count, and I just didn't have any fabric that I loved for it. So, you know, I wanted to use up from Stash. I used from Stash. And I like the color. I like the fact that it's popping on this fabric. And I'm using a piece from Stash. So there's my start, little start, but there's my start. Okay, that one was also showed on Stacy's group, 911 Stitchers. I'm telling y'all, Stacy, bad news bears for my pocketbook, I'm telling you. Okay, this one I stitched on a little bit, which is Hold the Door from Country Magic Stitch. And if you're a Game of Thrones fan, you know. So I won't take this out of the Q-snap or the hoop, but I have worked more on Hodor. Right in here, I finished up. I just need to bring the dark color down. Finished the top part of the fence. I won't be long and I'll be moving on to the second page. So I don't have too much more to go. I just need to sit down and stitch on this. This is 14 count Snowy from Fabric Flare. So I really like that. That's actually going to be a gift for my son. I don't know if it's going to be for Christmas, for his birthday. I don't know. He's a huge Game of Thrones fan, and that will be finished for him and mounted on the back of the door. He's actually building a new home for him in the process. So that might be a move-in gift. I don't know. All right, let me show you some Stash. I've done the giveaway. Let me go ahead and do my giveaway winners from last week. So my giveaway winners from last week are, we had the seasonal towels, which was part of my stash. I wanted to pass it on. And Allison Norris has won this. So Allison, get a hold of me. You can send me an Instagram message, Made by Michelle McGraw, or you can send me an email at madebymichellemcgraw@gmail.com. either way, send me your mailing address and your name and put towels in there so that I know I could double check. I always like to double check before I mail out. That's just another way for me to double check. So congratulations, Allison. There were 12 people that wanted to win the towels. So see, if you comment, you have a really good chance of winning. All right, the next one was Cricket Christmas from the Cricket collection. And this one, you had to say Christmas. I had 43 entries, and Jackie Robinson has won this one. So Jackie, get a hold of me. Congratulations. Okay, and then I already did my giveaway for this week, which will be Christmas tea, passing that along. All right, let me show some fabric. This is gonna be quick because I am in love with gingham fabric. So, I've showed gingham fabric before. I found orange. This is Gingham Pumpkin Natural from Weeks. I believe I got this on Stony Creek. I believe I got that from there. Okay, and I got 32 count Murano red and white check. And I got the black and white check. I love it. I actually cut a piece of the black and white. I was going to do the Christmas house on it. I worried that the detail would be lost on here because this is pretty bold. So I probably need a solid image. And so I changed my mind. So anyhow, I got those. Wanted to show those. My next stash is an unusual stash. So most of us have been other crafters at one time. And there's not a great picture of this. This is a kit from Pashta Designs. And it is a stitching kit, homespun holidays, keepsake ornaments. So what it is you use felt and you make the ornaments. Now, I've gotten these stitching designs before from Paper Tray Ink, and they had kits. And this was a kit. Lizzie used to do a lot of designing for Paper Tray Ink. She's come out with her own kit. You use these dies to cut out the felt. The kit comes with the felt, and you got to choose your colorway. And I chose this colorway because I thought it was so pretty. Although I have tons of felt, so I will be able to choose any colors that I want, but it did come with a colorway, so I chose this one. It comes with the dies. So here is the magic. So these are dies that you run through like a Big Shot or a Gemini, or I have a Vagabond, which is just the electric version, and it cuts all of the stitching holes. So it cuts out the ornament, and then like these are the stitching holes, and you stitch them up. And it comes with an instruction sheet, although they're very, very easy, and you can mix and match, which are fantastic. So there's 4 big ornaments, and then these are all the accessories that you can kind of mix and match in your ornaments. And you just cut these apart with wire cutters and cut them apart and have your dies. It comes with some finishing ribbon in the kit. It comes with sequins and beads to finish with in a container. It comes with the matching floss and even needles. So this is a full kit. I have lots of felt stitching dies. I love them. They are super, super cute. Lizzie is supposed to come out with more dies. Like this was kind of her first entry into it. It came in a project bag. I did not put this in this project bag. It came in it. And there is the name of her company right here. She is on Instagram, so if you don't follow her, go follow her. And these are super cute to make little ornaments with. They're great to make tags on gifts. I just love them. I'd like to make some ornaments for my niece. She is away at college, and I could easily send her some felt ornaments in the mail for her Christmas tree. I think that's super fun. Yeah, I love it. You can stick this on, like, you can make the little ornament and stick it as what do I want to call this? Like a tag on your gift, and it's something that they can keep and put on the Christmas tree. And the great thing is, if you have animals, my cat is super good. She leaves the Christmas tree alone. She loves to lay underneath it, but she leaves the ornaments alone. She does chew on the flocking on my Christmas tree, but I just tell her to stop. She stops. But she doesn't bother the ornaments. But if you had an animal, felt ornaments can drop on the floor and it doesn't, it's not going to hurt anything. So I really like that. So I can't wait to see what else Lizzie comes out with. Paper Tray Inc. had tons of different kits and tons of different options, and I just really, really love them. So I will be working some of these coming up, hopefully soon. All right, let's go over some more stash that I acquired in this whole time. Some of these were just acquired last night, and some of these came in, had been ordered for a while and came in. Some of them ordered quickly and came in. So this is Bobby G Designs. What is this called? Let's Go Trick or Treating. And once again, this is a Stacy enabler. Isn't that cute though? I love that. So that is 80 inches high and 154. I would like to stitch this on like 18 or 20 count. I would love that. I love it. Okay. I don't remember if this is new, but I had it sitting on my pile and maybe somebody knows. So this is called Family Farm Afghan from, I think it's just Witchell. But I really love the pattern. I don't want to do an Afghan, but I'm thinking of just stitching this together as a whole piece. Has anybody done that? Has anybody taken like one of these Afghan pieces and stitched it, instead of as an Afghan, stitched it as a whole piece? If you have, let me know how it worked out. Okay, this is one I actually want to start pretty quickly. Pilgrims of Plymouth from Twin Peak Primitives. And I just want to get it started because it is a great Thanksgiving chart. That's beautiful. Like, this is maybe one of my favorite Thanksgiving charts. So I actually probably will start this before and show this in my next Flosstube. Maybe. This was a free pattern, Joy to the World from Twin Peaks Primitives. If you don't follow them, follow them. Every once in a while they do a free pattern, and it's only free for like 24 hours. And that is the free pattern, and I really liked that too. Okay, so this one was bought at some point in this. Some more Good Morning Maui. My printer was off on color. It's running out, so the colors are not showing up right on here. But this is Alice. And if you are a Disney Alice fan, this is totally adorable. Once again, the colors are not right on this cover page. I need to put an ink cartridge in my, it kept saying low ink, and I was like, print anyway. So it did, but it doesn't show up as good. And then the next one is the Grinch from Good Morning Maui. And I love this one. Once again, my colors are not showing up right. But it says, maybe Christmas, he thought, doesn't come from a store. Maybe Christmas, perhaps, means a little bit more. And I will probably stitch this just like it is. I really, really like this. Good Morning Maui is patterns that I really get my money's worth out of it. Because if you wanted to do just an ornament of the Grinch and his dog, that you could just stitch those. Or you could stitch the whole piece. Or you could stitch just the saying. Like, I really get my money's worth out of Good Morning Maui. So I highly recommend them. Okay, so part 3 of the Dark Queen of the Sea Sal came out from Autumn Lane Stitchery. And we have breasts and arms. Now, if you're not part of this stitch along, you know that this was the first of choices that we got. there is an option that you can stitch her with her tatas exposed, if you so desire. I am one female in the house. The cat is female. The dogs are all male. All boys. There's boobies on the mind all the time in our house. I don't need to put boobies on my wall. Okay? So we're going to cover up the boobies. Covering them up. Option 1. Both are fantastic options. Although I do have a message for Erin. This is obviously a very young Dark Queen of the Sea Sow, because her tatas were perky. Very perky. As a 46-year-old person, I'm going to have to cover mine up and hope that the bustier holds them up a little bit better. There you go. I need to stitch on that. So that's part 3. So I need to get going on that. I need to finish my Frankenstein sow, which I have not done yet. I need to do that as well. All right, so I was on stitching with the Housewives, and I got some patterns. So this goes with the Buzz of the Bees. This goes with my whole bee theme that I'm going to be doing. So cute. I got Merry Mrs. Claus. These are super, super small. So I can whip these out pretty good. Ghouls and Garland. I might have had this in my stash already. So I might have showed this already. I just pulled some. Most of these are new. Jolly Claus. And Spooky Haunts. And let's just face it, it's a truck. I was buying it. There you go. And the last one, I actually really, really love this one. I'm going to start this one soon. Up on the Housetop. And love it. I need to see if I have a piece of 18 or 20 count darker fabric, because that's what I'd like to stitch it on. Okay. All right, so that's all my stash that I got. So not awful, but not good. All right, I have more Blackbird kitted up. I only grabbed some stuff that I was working on yesterday. So I have, and these are kind of lesser known ones, Liberty Eagle. Not lesser, because all Blackbirds are popular, but I don't see as many people stitching this one. But it also has a pin keep version on the back, which is a little bit smaller. I don't know what version I really love. It's hard to say. So I have that kitted up. I've had that kitted up for a while, but I did pull it off the shelf and say, I'm going to need to put that in rotation. I have Hats Off to Uncle Sam, which is this adorable little flower with the flag. And these are small. So that's why I'm like, this one is 43 by 47. Why aren't I stitching this? I could stitch this up and be done right quick. So that needs to be stitched up. I have Bells on Christmas Day that I was looking at because I really liked several of these. Like I really, really like this one. And then you could see a bigger picture of this one with the checkered house. Love that. So that one. Now this one is Autumn Loose Feathers. And while I like the one on the front, I really like that one. So that one's going to be a start. I also really like Pleasure of the Fleeting Year Loose Feather Series for the Birds #6. And I just love the colors in this one, the blues. And the peacock, I really like. We have, sorry, one of my dogs is drinking, so one of them was snoring underneath my feet. So we have a road that we live out in the country. So one of the roads that we go down to get into the nearby towns has peacocks. And just so you know, peacocks can fly somewhat, a little bit. And how I know this is because one scared the crapola out of me one day and was flying beside my car. I don't know if he was beside the road and I didn't see him, or he just flew up and kind of flew beside my car. I don't know. I don't know. This has been several years ago. Scared the crap out of me. Because it was like weird, and you could see it, like I was like, what? You know, and then I realized it was a peacock. And so I really love the colors. So I have to do that one because we have peacocks out here. Another one is Maria Shelby Humphrey, 1831. And I really like the drum. And I really like that one too. I've never done a drum. I am intimidated to do a drum. I need a good tutorial. Who has a good tutorial on how to do a drum? This one is Loose Feather Series for the Birds number 8. And I just liked that as well. This one is Loose Feathers Spring 2013. And I really like the house with the bees. So I don't know, let me see how big the house with the bees is. That one is 127 by 83. So that is not big. I could totally do that as a seasonal one. And what does it say? It says the bee, his labor is a chant, his idleness a tune. So I really, really liked that for my bee display. So I pulled that one. And this is my friend's house. And I just like what it says. And it says, the ornament of a house is friends who frequent it. And I really like that. I think I might change the colors on this one. I really like Blackbird's colors, but this one is a little too muted for me. So I might be changing that. I like the blue houses. I don't know. I might change that. We'll see when I get to it. And I have other ones kitted. I'll have to show you my other kitted ones. This one is a very unusual one that I wanted to show, and I actually really love it. All right, so this is my grandmother's garden. I don't know if it came out in a normal book, but it comes out in this quilting book, Tending the Garden. And like I said, I don't know if it's released anywhere else, but look how pretty that is. This needs to be a spring start for me. So I was kind of looking through. I also have one that's a more 4th of July start. This is another one. It's a little one in this book. I don't know if you can see it. Right there. It's very pretty with the colors, and you just put your initials in it. Real small one. I don't think there's any more. Most of these are quilt patterns, but they did have cross stitch in there. Yeah, I don't think any of these are cross stitch. I think those are all. I think those might be the only 2. Is that the only 2 they show? I think so. But anyhow, I really liked those. And so I pulled some of those. I have Casting a Spell. I have, I don't remember the name of it, Liberty something or another. And I really like that book, and that I have that kitted up. So I have several Blackbirds kitted up, and I need to start them. So hopefully next year, between now and next year, through next year, my goal will be to start stitching these Blackbirds that I've been hoarding. Okay, my piles are empty. I'm done. That was fast because I had a lot. I probably won't have that many finishes next time. I need to fully finish stuff, and that's a big goal. I have a lot of stuff hanging on hangers ready to go. I ironed stuff. I am ready to finish, kind of. So, next time you see me, hopefully I will have the plaid ornament finished, which I am super excited that I will have all of my kids' ornaments done in November. Done and finished. They'll be finished. I will need to fully finish them. But those are kind of my plans. I need to work on the Frankenstein Sal and finish it up. I need to work on Dark Queen of the Sea Sal. But I think, oh, I'm holding it upside down. I think this is going to be a start today. I don't know. I have to look at the floss list. I probably have it, so I just need to look, but I think it's so pretty. So, all right. I hope you guys all had a good time on this Flosstube. Thank you so much for joining me. If you don't already subscribe, please subscribe, and you'll get a notice of my videos when I have a new one. Like I said, I try to do every 2 weeks. Sometimes with 3 kids, that's just not possible. We get very busy and it doesn't happen. So, but I try. And I am on Instagram at madebymichellemcgraw. And I'm on Instagram probably more than I'm on Facebook, but I do get on Facebook somewhat. So thank you for staying with me today. And enter the giveaway. Don't say giveaway. Make sure you're 18 to enter the giveaway. And good luck, everybody. Stay safe. Happy voting. And I will see you next time.